We are here today on Country Pocket with Brittany Davis. The new album is Black Thunder. Brittany, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, doing wonderful.
So, the line you deliver very bluntly at the beginning of the album is "You get what you get."
Oh yeah, oh yes.
Explain to me, explain to me what you got and how that's impacted you.
So that line came from a series of thoughts. The first one is the willingness and readiness, um, as humanity that we're willing to take the initiative to change ourselves to fit a mold that never existed, not even really in nature. Um, to perfect our bodies and our situations, our lives, our image, even to, the degree of environmental harm and degradation of the resources that we actually have available to us on this earth. And like we're willing to do, like, I mean, I hate to go into this kind of thing, but we're willing to commit genocide on certain groups of people just because they don't look or don't act or don't function in the way that we see fit. Um, and also, with the plastic surgery boom, all of the waste, all of the surgical, all of that stuff, like it really does have an impact on who we are as humans and who we are planetarily. And when I say you get what you get, it's like what I get is I get treated like somebody who deserves less because I have two organs less than the average man. Two eyes are missing. And so I'm like, yeah, I get to live with that. I get to live with that. And I also get to live with the idea that it's up to me to make change in this world possible for me and myself and other people like me. And so when I made that song, I was thinking about what it meant to embark on the journey of expression in the realm of, hey, what does it feel like to actually say these things out loud? We're willing to destroy valuable and precious ecosystems so we can have shinier hair. Like, what does that say about the integrity of our beings? And how does that feel to say that out loud? And also to put myself among the number because there's many things that I benefit from as well that, you know, that can harm the environment and even myself, just so I can look cool and sound dope. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you definitely have a decent collection of instruments and stuff there. Uh,
absolutely.
Sound equipment. Yeah, I would agree. You sound dope. Uh,
Thank you.
so I want to focus in on a few songs. That's I guess kind of how I conduct my interviews is I like to uh look into a few songs pretty deeply, and the first one is Amid the Blackout of the Night. You're describing all these things, the birds, the cosmos, stuff you can't see. What do you think you would actually gain by seeing them? Like you talk, sometimes I wonder if there's really a sky. Like, is it verification? What would you gain?
Verification, in-depth perspective, and expressive value. Like working on the exposure of, the mind in those areas. So like if I tell you right now the sky is blue, you know that that's not always the case. But when I say it, you know generally that it is. And you also know that sometimes it's purple blue or kind of blackish blue or kind of, reddish golden blue. All these different types of understanding of what the sky can provide visually to you. And I think that's what would happen to me if I had that insight visually. Um, just to know things and to feel connected to them. Like my world is connected and not in like pieces and parts, like puzzle pieces. Like having the knowledge, but not the verification of certain aspects of existence would just be huge.
Um, you know, um, you talk about missing the stars, people missing the stars for simply being attracted to some shiny, beautiful thing. What are we missing by sort of pursuing a more physical image of beauty?
I missed that's how it broke up, sorry.
You talk about people missing the stars in the song. What are people missing by pursuing a more physical image of beauty, and maybe not examining more closely what we actually have?
It's like I was talking about in All You Get, you know, it's a willingness to dismiss and take, put ourselves above the fullness of what it means to be an organic being, a physical being, and be in physical space with each other and our environment. When we pursue the vein and the image, I mean, image is not bad. Image itself, the gift of image and the gift of sight and to see things that are attractive to you is not what's bad. It's how we handle the processing and the intellect that goes around what is and who is and how they are or aren't attractive. That is when we lose the power and we lose grip with reality to the point that you won't even let somebody near you because they don't have this figure or those numbers or that smile. When we miss the stars, it has less to do with whether or not we like to stargaze or look up into the sky, but our ability to branch and broaden our perspective out to seek things outside of ourselves and our own comfort. And that's when we truly miss the beauty of the stars. If we can't see the beauty of our mother's smile or a friend's laugh, then the stars will just be little dots of light.
Yeah, I I guess I this is going to be a strange one, but it's one that I ponder in my life because I'm asexual. I'm not attracted to people.
Right.
So um, I find as though maybe I have these values of really focusing on emotional depth
Yeah.
over physical appearance. And
Mhm.
sometimes I wonder, like, would I be that way if I were just like everyone else? Do
Mhm.
you think you'd have the same value set if you were quote unquote just like everyone else?
Yes. It's an unfortunate truth. Um, Not because I would be like everyone else, and not that the condition of everyone's mind and perspective is unfortunate, because they're, like you just said, there are beautiful variants and ways of seeing things and values that people put on their perspectives, and that says something bigger than any generalization that I could make or anybody could make about how the world is seen through other people's eyes. But one thing I do know is that even without my sight, I'm going, do I look right to this person? Do I look, so if I had the sight to verify if I did or didn't, I think I might be stuck. I might be needing somebody to write a Black Thunder for me to give me a pathway at least to see my way out of that mess. Because it's real and it's everywhere and it's constant.
Yeah, I guess one of the things the song Mirrors brought up for me is the thought, you can't see yourself in the mirror. So I guess how do you form your image of yourself?
This is a really, really, really deep and wonderful question. I'm glad it was asked because this is where the rubber really meets the road, right? As a blind person and a person that was born not only without the ability to see, but without the actual organ, I was born without eyes completely. The entirety of how I see myself comes from other people, comes from the lens of other people's eye. And I know that's really weird because for me, it's like a funhouse mirror. Like, imagine seeing yourself in a funhouse mirror, but you never, like, when you go home, you see a funny image too. Like, it's never the same image, no matter what mirror you look in. You never see the same image. That's what it's like to look into the mirror for me because some people will give me great glowing reviews, and some are like, you too fat. Some are like, you too thin. Some are like, you too black, too light, too, and I'll never have, I will never have the ability to fully embrace my physical image. Now, my mental image and my spiritual image and my emotional intelligence and how I equate my value and all of that stuff. That stuff that I can work with. But this physicality, I ain't gonna never have a handle on. And I've come to be okay with that. But, it's a strange thing 'cause people always say, don't listen to what other people say. Well, in my case, if I don't listen to what other people say, then I have no conflict, no context for expression. So if somebody tells me that red doesn't look good on me, I can't say you're lying to me because I have no way to verify that.
You don't know.
So it's like when people say, don't listen to what other people say about you, though sometimes I wish, some of the things that people say about me really hurt. So I wish I didn't have to hear what they had to say. But if I don't listen, I don't know. If my face looks toe up, if somebody chooses to say that to me in a really ugly way, I have to hear it and I have to consider it because I can't see my face,
Yeah.
you know? And it's really difficult because that's the first thing people say is like, don't listen to what other people say. My whole basis of what I look like comes from other people and what they've said.
Yeah, that's got to be tricky. And the way you write in the song, it's not just you who has to deal with the fact that other people sort of set the parameters for them. They can, even with me, I can look in the mirror and see myself, but if someone says something negative about me, I still absorb it. I still
Yeah.
have to
See?
I have to consider it. It's not the only image I have, but it very much affects my image. And
There.
uh, the way you talk in the song, it's more than just you who has to deal with this. It's entire groups of people who have to deal with the lens of a society that is not there to be their friend.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. It's painful to see the the depth of perspective that's missing in modern society sometimes. Uh, at least on the surface. I think all of us know better. We just don't want to. We don't want to admit it to even ourselves. Because if we did, man, what a big piece of us would have to change. Um, and that goes for me too. That actually goes for me too. Don't think it. Don't think it for a second because you're blind. You can see so much more of the world that we can. No, no, baby. You just gotta tune in. You can see just as much as I can. As a matter of fact, with the physical and visual verification, you probably can see even more than I can. But you don't tune in, you don't learn.
Yeah, that's that's beautifully put.
It's like learning about the Blue Angels. I learned something really, really, really powerful about the Blue Angels. You know, well, I'll put it like this. I learned something from a sister of mine about how certain groups of people see the Blue Angels, like in their country. Honestly, they see it as a sign of death. These planes everybody's raving about, the whole Seattle's out. For them, it means death because those planes drop bombs on their cities, on their loved ones. You know, it's funny, and I say that because it's funny what perspective brings when you're willing to tune in to different frequencies and how people see the world around you so completely differently. And you can be right there in the same vicinity. We need to start cluing in and tuning in to different things like that instead of just seeing if it got a million views or not.
Yeah, just a preview for you. This discussion of ours will not get a million views. Um, but I hope it gets a few that really think about some of the things we're saying here. We're gonna hear Mears, and we'll be right back with Brittany Davis. The new album is Black Thunder.